Well, one of those shows, Killing Eve, stars Jodie. She plays Villanelle in the BBC comedy thriller, and she's been nominated for lead actress in a drama series. Now, the programme has 9 nominations in total, and Jodie faces competition from her co-star, Sandra Oh. Earlier, I spoke to her from New York, and I asked Jodie how it feels to be selected for the award.
I'm feeling overwhelmed. It hasn't quite sunken in yet. I kind of had forgotten about it and put it all to the back of my mind because I honestly didn't think it was going to happen. So I actually came out of the gym and had a load of messages of congratulations. So that was a nice surprise, nice start to the day.
It's been quite a year for you, hasn't it? I mean, you're a BAFTA winner. Now you've got this nomination.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, you're coming up against Sandra Oh again. Goodness me.
I know. It's always the way, which is what I think is, sometimes I feel like people kind of play us off against each other, but I think it's such a wonderful problem to have because we have, 2 female-centric roles leading this show. It's a nice position to be in for the both of us, yeah.
So what's it like working with a director who also happens to be up for a nomination and worked on Fleabag, Phoebe Waller-Bridge? What's it like working with her?
Incredible. I mean, she is larger than life and so much fun. And working with Phoebe has definitely been the biggest highlight of my career so far. And everything she touches turns to gold. I think she is so, stand out alone, her own person. And I don't think anything she can do can be replicated, which I just think is so unique. I've already told her that everything that she does from now on, she has to cast me in. Whether she sticks to that promise or not is another thing.
Apart from learning a lot of ways to kill people, Jodie, why do you think Killing Eve has been so popular? And what was it like playing the role of Villanelle?
I think what people have enjoyed the most is I find the show to be very refreshing. It has that dark humour, and I think it questions people's morals. I think they end up finding themselves rooting for people who they wouldn't usually, and there's that kind of danger and naughtiness that I think people enjoy. For me, when I watch things, I want to be entertained, and I think sometimes, I don't feel like Killing Eve has this kind of bigger message. It's there for entertainment, and I think that is what people have found in the show. At least I hope.
Do you know, when your nomination was announced, there were many people who said, oh my goodness, her use of accents and the way she portrays the different characters is incredible. I mean, is that really something that you have developed, or has it come very naturally to you? Because viewers really appreciate it, and they enjoy watching your work on the screen.
Yeah, I think accents are always something I've played around with, like, growing up, especially with my dad. We were always kind of doing impersonations, or, whether if there was, like, an accent on an advert on the television, we would always kind of, do that around the house. So I think through that I kind of picked up an ear for them. But some accents are definitely harder than others, and I have by no means mastered them all. But it is definitely a challenge that I enjoy, especially because I find if I, although I would love to see more Liverpool accents in drama on the television, I do find it a lot easier to separate myself from the character when I'm not using my own voice.
Yeah, because you're often playing a part within a part in Killing Eve.
Yeah.
Has that been difficult for you, or was that how did you find that?
It's something I think I can't think about too much. I just have to tackle on the day. But in many respects, I did, kind of think of her as an actress. The preparation that she does for each role that she takes on, the costumes, the accents. She is an actress in many ways. And that was definitely a way I kind of tried to find myself around, what was going on in her head at certain times. She's a chameleon, and she adapts very well to different situations. And I guess as an actress, as an actor, that's what you have to do yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned sort of black humour there. Would you perhaps like to do more comedy?
Yeah, I mean, I think comedy is really underestimated. I actually think comedy is so hard because it's the moment you try to be funny, it kind of isn't. So there is such a fine line. And what I've loved, like I said in the show, is that balance between drama and humour. But no, I've definitely enjoyed playing that, and it's definitely something I'd love to explore further.
On your Instagram, you very aptly put it as sisters are doing it for themselves, that Eurythmics hit.
Yeah.
I'd like to know, what have you got planned for the future? I know there's a third series of Killing Eve coming up, but what else is on the cards?
Well, I'm actually in Boston in a minute, shooting a film called Free Guy, which I only have a couple of weeks left, and then I am back to series 3 of Killing Eve, and then as for the near future, who knows? That's one of the love-hate, the spontaneity of you never know what's around the corner. So hopefully something really exciting. That would be nice.
Well, Jodie, keep doing it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Oh, thank you very much.
Lovely Jodie Cromer there of Killing Eve.